Good morning, everyone. Brian here with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I have a review for you guys of the Atari 7800 original library game, Choplifter. Now, as you guys might recall, I did a review of the ColecoVision Choplifter port some time ago, and I may not have remembered to go over everything in that one as thoroughly as I could, so I will go ahead and correct some of that here. It was originally developed by Dan Gorlin for the Apple II computer back in 1982 and published that year by Broderbund. Later on in 87, though by some sources 88, Atari published it for the Atari 7800. Among many other platforms, it got other releases. For instance, the ColecoVision. One interesting thing about it is that it ended up being, although it did not start out as an arcade cabinet original, it did get an arcade port, I believe later in 82, if I recall what I read right. Anyway, it's a pretty nice little game. You are trying to rescue 64 hostages, at least in this one, from the evil bungling empire. The hostages are American diplomats who have been, for whatever reason, taken hostage. Your base of operations is, for whatever reason, disguised as the United States Post Office. And you fly your chopper from it out into enemy territory, bust open the strongholds holding the hostages, and rescue them while you have to also fight off jet planes trying to shoot you down, and tanks. Unfortunately, this one has only one difficulty level, and it is fairly high, and I haven't quite gotten it down so well, so excuse me if the gameplay will end up seeming to be quite a bit lacking. In any case, I have my loose cartridge here. It says 87 Atari and 82 Broderbund software. It's actually one of the nicer Atari 7800 cartridges with a bit of color in the label rather than being just all black and white. And in general, it does play pretty well, though like I said, it does have a pretty high difficulty setting to it, and unfortunately just one. Well, it might not be as super high as I sometimes take it for, as that it's just my lack of experience with it, but I've seen others who've said that it is fairly difficult by comparison contrast to some other ports. But that doesn't make it a bad game. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and get us set up with my Atari 7800, and we're going to take a look into some gameplay. Okay, so here we go, getting a look at the gameplay. Nice little intro screen, I think. I'll make sure it gets a nice, good picture here. Yep. I think that'll work okay. Now, you just, your left button is fire, while your joystick obviously is for movement, and your right button is to change your position. I found being in the mid position is where you, like this, is about the easiest way to, aim your shots once airborne. Die, silly tank. One thing I've noticed about this one that seems a bit different from some others I've played is that it seems to be tough for me to figure out how in the heck I'm supposed to bust open the enemy strongholds, as I seem to always have to have their forces do it for me. There we go. Right. Well, that's one life down. In fact, I'm not going to let him do me that way. I'm getting some back before we go that route. So I seem to have to trick him into letting me actually get that open for whatever reason. Kind of stinks in a way because I shouldn't have to do all that. Disappeared. Getting right over the tanks is usually a good bet for getting to a point where they're not going to be able to avoid your fire. I'll try to land on you guys. More tank? Nope. Oh, I will bother. Got it. Unfortunately, as far as I know, no real points for getting rid of the tank. Here we are, some hostages rescued. Except for that it might have a few technical limitations, like the number of hostages having to be displayed. It's almost a wonder that you didn't get more of this for the Atari VCS 2600. I bet it could have been done. One other nice detail I like here is, see that right there? Those barriers are Atari symbols, so that's kind of actually a nice touch on their part. Usually you can avoid things like the jet fighters at first, but not forever. I thought earlier on I was recalling that you usually have to do everything from the beginning, but apparently not. Dadgum. There's one more light down. Well, one of them anyway. I think you get 3 sorties before you're out, so. Silly jet, stay away until I get the. Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to kill him. Oh well, can't be helped now. That's the end of him. And the end of me. Crud. See, I think I'm on my last sortie here. At least I got some hostages rescued before. And there's our game over. Let's see. I could give it another try and try to do a bit better, but don't want to run this too long, and I'll probably end up with similar results. Anyway, I think you guys get the idea with the gameplay, so I'm going to go ahead and get us into our ending segment of this video. Okay, so that was Choplifter. In 1977, 86 or 87 or 88, I'm sorry. Original library game for the Atari 7800, originally by Dan Gorlin and published by Broderbund, and then in this port by Atari. Like I said, it is a bit more difficult than some of the other ports, so it shouldn't be surprised that it was tough for me to get more than just one small load of diplomatic hostages rescued, but before ending up going through my 3rd sortie, but as I said, that's the way this game goes for many. I still say it's a very good game, though. For one thing, it has some of the nicest graphics of any port of the game I've seen, and although these sounds are roughly equivalent to what the TIA chip would do with the Atari VCS 2600, the sounds are pretty reasonably good, and so it looks and sounds pretty decent. Just plays a bit tough. Anyway, my preferred YouTubers, Brian Puddin with his channel Brian's Man Cave, Phil with his channel, The No Swear Gamer, and Retro Comparisons, who have a comparison contrast of the Atari 5200 and Atari 7800 ports of the game. All have some nice videos featuring this game, so I will leave links for them in case you guys would care to check them out. And I will also leave a link to the Wikipedia article for those who might care to read up on this game further, as there does happen to be one. Though not covering this particular port as specifically, it does go over the game in general, including that, so it's a nice, fair read. If you guys enjoy my channel's content, please like, share, and subscribe. And please don't hesitate to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down in the comments section below. You guys take care, have a nice morning, and I will see you again in my next video.